Hello YouTube, I'm Dr. Tactical and the doctor will see you now. Welcome back. Today we are going to take a step away from the typical carry guns. We're staying in the realm of carry guns, but we're stepping away from the plastic guns, the polymer guns. We did this once before when we addressed the Smith & Wesson CSX, which we really enjoyed. It had some things I didn't like, but overall it was a really nice little breath of fresh air. My local gun shop owner, who I don't know if he saw that video or not, but this guy's got my number. He knows I have no resistance to salespeople whatsoever. Sent me over a text with something he had just gotten in. I was going to not even look at it because I knew whatever he was sending me was something that was going to appeal to me. I shouldn't have looked at it. I did look at it. I now own it. So I now am the owner of a Walther Q4SF steel frame. This is the cut down version of the Q5. The Q5 is a competition pistol that Walther makes. That's a steel frame gun that is perfect for competitions, but not a good idea for concealed carry. It's very heavy. It's very awkward. It has a sharp, large beaver tail. It's just not designed for concealed carry. The Q4 steel frame, or SF, it's not just, I called it a cut down version, and that's not fair. It's a redesigned version. It's a 4-inch barrel up from the Q5. So the Q4 has the 4-inch barrel. It's steel frame, but the steel frame has been altered so that the balance is really ideal for that particular gun. And it's a heavy gun. It's 40 ounces. It's kind of a beast. So you got this big gun. How the hell can you conceal a 40-ounce gun? And it's certainly not small. I would say it's a little larger than a Glock 19, just to give you some perspective. So concealing, is that even practical? Well, let's check, shall we? Now, I do not have a cameraman. You are not in any danger. This gun is, magazine is empty. And the chamber is empty as well. I'm not sure I understand. Oh, apparently I'm being listened to. Anyway, so the interesting thing with this gun is, although it's 40 ounces and it is heavy in the hands, it carries very nicely in a good holster and a good belt. This is a Dara holster in a core essential belt. And it actually carries very, very nicely. I have no complaints about that. It's been shaped. They bob down the beaver tail so that it doesn't poke you. I did play around. You can carry some pretty big guns. Some of you may remember the P226 Zev. I played around with this and carried it just for fun. I had some bruises afterwards. This beaver tail sucks for appendix carry and for IWB, at least against my body shape, I'll have to say. This has not been terrible. The Walther I've been pretty happy with, considering the size of this gun. You got a 15-round magazine, and what it kind of is, I think they were even shooting for this. This is a Gucci carry gun. This is a gun that you can carry, and it's like driving a Porsche. You know, you can drive anything, but it's just tight and feels right and feels good. You know, you can shake this thing, nothing. There's no wiggle in it. Now I have an HK, the HK P30SK, which was a carry gun, which I think I've mentioned on other videos, which I really liked. But this elongated ambidextrous slide release or slide lock is very similar to the one on the HK P30 or P30SK, and well, I guess both. It rattles. It has a constant rattle to it. This does not. This is quality. It just feels like quality when you hold this gun in your hand, and the weight adds to that. Now, I have fired several rounds down range with this. Exactly 60 rounds so far. So I don't have a lot of range time with this because I was waiting for the red dot. This is a optics ready or red dot sight ready Q4SF. They also make one that is not optic ready, and this has blacked out sights on it, which are, by the way, very nice. The one that doesn't have the optics cut, I believe, has the luminescent dots on it. So they're not tritium. They don't glow on their own accord. They have to collect light, and then they use that light to come back, and it comes back pretty strong. It does a nice job with the glow, but the problem is if you're using it as a conceal carry, you probably have it in the dark, not where it has total access to light. And if you're in a dark situation, could present a problem. This will present more of a problem unless you put a red dot on it, because you just have black on black in dark. Anyway, well, as long as we're on the red dot, let's talk about that just for a moment. So Walther has a interesting approach to red dots when they have an optic ready cut in their slide. What they do, instead of sending you like an MOS like Glock does and says, here's a bunch of plates, have at it, they say, pick what red dot you're going to use, contact us, and we will send you the plate for that one that you want. So it's an easy decision for me. My red dot of choice is the Holosun, the 507CX2, with the ACSS reticle, the Vulcan reticle, which is basically a cheat reticle as far as I'm concerned. I love this reticle because I'm perfectly content to cheat in a gunfight. And when I say gunfight, I mean competitions or any type of battle. If anything gets me to that dot quicker, I want. And this just does it. And anybody who's interested and wants me to do a review on this sight, I've already bought it for the other one. Please ask me in the comments. And speaking of which, please subscribe. I'm trying to get some numbers going. I'm going to use all that YouTube money that's going to come pouring in for a trigger gauge, I think, a scale. A couple other things I want to get that I thought would be fun to have. So hook a DoctorTactical up and hit the like sign, hit the subscribe sign. Much appreciated. But anyway, back to the comments. If I get enough, because there's already a lot of videos out on this, and people may be tired of it already. But if there's a genuine interest in my take on it, I am happy to discuss this in detail, because I really like this optic. So that's all well and good, but this is the plate that Walther sent me. Now, I know there's been a lot of concern about the plates not having internal portions for for handling the slide movement. This seems to have that problem taken care of. However, two things. One, this is straight from the factory. I don't know if you can make this out. You see something? There's already some type of wear on this, and this is the first that's been out of that piece of plastic. That's interesting. So it has wear on it from the factory. But more importantly, I haven't taken this off yet, but looking at the slide, when it comes off, it's going to take those rear sights off with it. And I was watching some videos while I was in hell waiting my week for this to be released to me, and some of the videos I saw with Walther people on them, at like SHOT Show 2020, they were saying that the plate that they're going to put on it will have backup sights as well that you can co-witness through. This has no such sights. I'm going to call Walther probably tomorrow and see what the deal is, because if you're going to use this as a carry gun, it's a little dangerous, I think, not to have some way to utilize the sights just in case something bad happens. Let's put it this way. The odds of something bad happen are minimal, but the odds of you needing your gun are minimal. We don't carry this gun with the expectation of using it. We carry it with the hope never to use it, but just in case, if you do need it, you want a full functionality of the weapon. You don't want to find out that things don't work or there's a problem with something. I have had red dots go down on me in the past, And you know what? If you have something to back it up, then it's not an issue. So I'm going to look into that, because before this becomes a real regular concealed carry gun, that problem has to be addressed. My hunch is they're going to say, because I think, I forgot the name of the company, but there's a company that makes plates for them. I have a feeling they're going to say, yeah, you can buy that from this company. That bothers me, but we all know, you guys watching or have seen me more than once know, I'm going to end up buying the damn thing anyway, but it's going to piss me off. Anyway, just as I'm feeling this and looking, if you look at this area right up here where it's sort of shaved back, now this is something that's not the case with the Q5. This is just one of the small things that they do with Walther to just change the weight around a little bit. The balance on this gun, getting back to the 60 rounds that I've shot, the balance on this gun is magnificent. And the coming back on target after each shot is really as nice as any gun I've fired. It's just, the gun feels good to shoot. The gun feels good to carry. It's like carrying a Mont Blanc. It's like carrying, it's just, for people who carry, it's nice to have nice things. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. You can get a much lower end, much less expensive gun, and you'll still enjoy it, and you will still be well protected with something reputable, I'm sure. But this is just something for people who like nice things. What else do I want to tell you about it? So we talked about the cutout. It has a Picatinny rail on the front with three slots, so you can pretty much put whatever you want on there, bayonet, what have you, grenade launcher. So the trigger. Let's get to the trigger. That's Walther's thing. That's what they're known for. The best striker fired handgun is what they claim, and the way they word it on most videos I've seen, when I hear actual employees of the company speaking, is they say something to the effect of, most critics agree, or something like that. That it's there's nothing definitive. There's no, and you have to be careful in truth in advertising what you say. This trigger, let me come up so you can sort of see a little bit. Got a little travel, a little creep, and then a click. Resets nice. It's a very, very nice trigger. Is it the best striker fire trigger that I've felt? Now, granted, this has not been in any way modified. This is straight from the factory, how it came. There are a lot of modifications available that you can do. Spring-wise and trigger-wise, there are modifications you can purchase, or additional triggers you can purchase. So there's room to improve. But I will tell you, you guys saw me playing around with those Canics. I hate to say it, but the Canics right there with it. And my friend Michael right now is probably throwing things at his computer if he's watching this, or his phone is just gone across the room. Sorry, Mike. He's a big Walther fan and he loves his trigger. But my incredibly sophisticated hand, it's a good trigger. Now, one other thing that we should point out, this has 60 rounds through it. What's this going to be like at 500 rounds? What's it going to be like at 1,000 rounds? Well, I'm going to find out. I can promise you that. I just bought a whole ton more ammo, so I love that it's going down a bit. So anyway, the trigger is a nice trigger, and hopefully it's going to improve the more I fire it. That very well may be the case. In fact, the truth is, I think it has improved just with the 60 rounds, because I haven't really pulled the trigger since my last range trip, and before that, I pulled the trigger just dry firing without, just dry firing before it had any rounds through it. So I'm very happy. I'm happy with the gun. I'm happy with the trigger, but again, it's a striker fire. You put that next to this bad boy, the Staccato XC. Of course, it's a hammer fire. Butter. This is beautiful. But you put it next to the P226 Zev. All these are empty. There's no creep, no creep. It's a very, very nice trigger. Put it next to the CZ. So we got ourselves the CZ Shadow 2, the orange. So this is actually the Shadow 2. This is not the TSO. So this is a double action, single action trigger. So the single action is phenomenal. The double action is steady and smooth, and I freaking hate it. Just in general, I just don't like the transition. But if this were a carry gun, I think it's the way to go. I certainly wouldn't want that single action as my go-to fire, but this would be an incredibly stupid carry gun. So going back to the Walther, I love it. I enjoy carrying it. It makes me happy. At no point do I not know that I'm carrying it. Would somebody walk up to me and say, "Hey, do you remember you're carrying?" And I'd be like, "Oh my God, I completely forgot." I always know I'm carrying with this, but it's not in a bad way. I feel very comfortable with it. I don't know how, as it gets warmer outside, how much time it's going to get in the rotation, but it's not leaving. It's not going anywhere. And when next time you see it, it's going to have that Vulcan Holosun sight on it. And if I have to spend the extra money to get the backup sights on the plate, don't tell Holosun, because that's going to hurt my negotiating when I call. But I'll buy it if I have to, because I think that's important. But I definitely want to dot this bad boy. All right, that's it for now. Kept this one reasonably timed. Again, please hit if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Please like, please comment. I love the comments that I get from you guys. It's really, I've learned a lot. And one thing, just since one ongoing issue I've had in the past has been some of the oil that comes from the factory. Some people say what comes from the factory is not a oil or a grease. It is simply a protectant. That is not always the case. It turns out some companies are shipping with actual oil and grease. This gun, first thing I did is clean the hell out of it. And then I'm experimenting right now with, which I only shot 60 shots. The gun is 60 for 60, flawless on the range. This is gun butter. So I'm not a sponsor for gun butter. I don't have any financial interest in it, but I will let you know what I think of it after I've used it. But I will tell you, so far, I'm a fan.
I found this on the web.
Oh, and it's been found on the web, apparently. Oh, there you go, gun butter. That scares me. Anyway, so one point on the gun butter. If you have not tried it before, it's red. You can't tell by the packaging when it comes out. Like, what the hell? It's red. So don't be shocked by it. Doesn't make a difference. Just know it so it doesn't surprise you. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, like. I will see you next time. This is Dr. Tactical, out.